Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The language usually gives the secret away before even we ever feel it. In Arabic, the word for heart is qalb. Let us stand on those three letters for a moment. Kaf, lam, and ba. Before this word means feeling or emotion or the seed of love, it means something more physical. It means to flip. It means a reversal. It means the movement of a vessel in a storm. It means the turning back for a traveler who realizes they are on the wrong path. Language is a confession of how we are made. It tells us that the human heart is a movement wearing flesh. It is turning center that refuses to sit still. We had a small gathering on the 17th of January over the weekend, speaking about living halal. I looked around the room and saw young faces sitting next to seniors who have gone through decades of experience and life. And I realized that we are all walking across a geography that was never designed for the qalb, for the heart. The geography of the West is a terrain built for the nafs. It is an environment engineered to serve the appetite of the nafs. But if we have to look deeper, for instance, in Surah Al-Insan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us clearly, "Verily we created man from a mangled drop in order to test him." And then he says, "So we gave him the gifts of hearing and sight." This is a profound shift in orientation. He did not give us our perception so we could become successful in this world. He gave us ears and eyes as senses for a trial. Our hearing and our sight are mere interfaces for a test. We are not here to win. We are here to be tried, to be challenged. If the terrain is a test, then we need a way to move through it. Think of qadr, the divine measure, as the road itself. It is the fixed path beneath our feet. You did not choose to be born into this decade or to the family or to the community. You did not choose to navigate this specific economy which you are in today or these social pressures which you face. That is the road, that is the journey. But your qalb, your heart, is your GPS. And like any GPS in a complex city, it requires constant rerouting. Every time we encounter an obstacle, every time the world pulls us towards drift, the heart is tasked with a recalculation. So navigating halal in the West is not about reaching a destination of perfect comfort. It is about the constant trembling work of realignment at every turn. Into this turning center, this unstable heart of ours, a specific geometry is placed to help us reroute. It's called the kalima. La ilaha illallah. It works by a very deliberate rhythm. And the rhythm goes like this. First comes the negation, la, no, total refusal. It is clearing of a room that has been cluttered, has been far too crowded with the illas. I spent decades working inside institutions, in finance, in technology, in cybersecurity, in governance. I have seen how quickly the interior of this room fills up. We store idols in there that wear very respectable clothes. Peer approval, the need to be measurable, the quiet anxiety of the retirement fund, the fear of being invisible to the systems that command our time. To say la is to sweep all of this, to sweep the floor. It is a total refusal to grant sovereignty to anything that claims a power it does not actually possess. When a young person says no to a trend that compromises their dignity, that is the negation. When a professional says no to an ethical shortcut that promises efficiency, that is negation. It is not a loss. It is a clearing of the heart. Once the room has been cleared, it needs to be decorated. It needs to be, filled. And this is where affirmation comes in. Illallah. The arrival of the only guest who belongs in that room. It is the gathering of all our scattered directions into one name. The Qalb learns faith the way a tide learns the shore. It withdraws and it returns. We say these words again today because we changed. The heart drifts at every moment. It gets hardened under the weight of habit. Our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warned us that the heart rusts like iron when they are exposed to the water of worldly distractions. To polish that heart is through remembrance, through zikr. Repetition is not a lack of imagination. It is an education for our hearts. It is how a string is brought back to its true note. As I get older, I see that systems fail spiritually long before they fail operationally. A life can be perfectly efficient and still be a well-managed cage. We think we are managing our careers, but if the heart is hard, the mechanism is meaningless. Success is an abstraction. The reality is a quality of the turning. How sincerely did we return when the winds change? We live between the la and the illa, between the release and the belonging. The road of qadr has already been written long before. It's already been laid out. The Qalb is rerouting at every obstacle, at every pothole, at every turn. And on that turning, the life is weighed. So I want you to look at your own map this week. Where do you find the most drift? And is the negation starting to feel like a loss, or is it starting to feel like a clearing? Have a wonderful week ahead. Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.